The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hey, check it out. I got this from my kids today. Mickey Ward, apparel, clothing. Check it out, man. Go to the website. Maybe someday you can get a snazzy jacket like this. Thanks, Mick. Hi, my name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight, I got a very special guest, professional wrestler, Leon. But I'm kind of confused. You used to be called King Leon VI. Did something happen in the royal family?
No, honestly, man, it got to the point in my head where the crown kind of was starting to weigh down who I really was.
Right.
You know, I had a lot of fun with the king. I did a lot of comedy stuff, had some really cool matches, a lot of just generally, a good road that I had in the first couple of years of wrestling. But looking back, especially through quarantine, it got me thinking, I feel like I've run my course with the king stuff. I feel like it's time to just be myself. And obviously, Leon is still Leon, but drop the crown, see what happens, have a little more of me involved in wrestling. And really, so it gives me a chance to truthfully go from I did a lot of comedy promos when I first started.
Right.
I haven't been doing that because of the character, but it gives me a chance to really play with comedy and also be serious if I want to because it's just me. Yeah. So there's no real cap for what I can do.
And it's always good to switch it up. I mean, we'll just use one guy, for instance, and look, Christian Casanova. You know what I mean? He had the thriller gimmick. You know what I mean? The thriller of New England. Now he's, Culture season. Killanova.
Top talent,
Christian Casanova. And it's nice, though. I mean, in retro, Anthony Green, maybe he was all good. Then he went retrosexual.
That was when I first came in, was when they were both in those gimmicks. And and I saw the evolution of both of those guys. And Christian Casanova, it's only a matter of time before that guy is on the TV stealing everyone's hearts. Seriously.
Hopefully wrestling Anthony Green.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, there's a very good chance at this point because I don't doubt that he's already being looked at by plenty of people.
Oh, he must be. Honestly.
Has to be.
Because everybody, a lot of people will ask on the fan questions, they'll ask one of my guesses, who do you think's next? And it's pretty much the same answer.
It's him.
It's Christian, but there's a few others, though, that could make it. I wouldn't be surprised. I know Bear Country isn't really from New England.
Right.
But they wrestle a lot in New England.
Well, it's funny. I don't know if you know this or not, but they've been on AEW the last couple of weeks. Yeah, I mean.
So I would imagine they're going to get signed. If I was AEW, I'd want to sign them.
Absolutely. I'm good friends with Bear Bronson, outside of wrestling, because of wrestling, but also outside of wrestling. And we've had the conversation where he's like, man, it's just crazy how it's taken off. And it's but I feel like that's just how it happens with everybody. You know what I mean? You finally find your niche where it's Bronson was a singles guy. Beefcake was Beefcake at the time, not Boulder. And he was just doing his own singles thing too. Yep. And they came together and made magic.
Charlie. Yeah. That's the first time I saw him. It was called Beefcake Charlie. And I was like, this dude's huge.
And the funny thing is that's his humor if you know him. So it's real.
Really?
Oh man, yeah. Beefcake is he's a riot.
They're
the dude
a great
is a
tag
riot.
Team, and I would not be surprised if they were the next one.
They 100% will be. It's honestly the way I look at it, I see them, I see Christian Casanova. Still to this day, regardless of anyone who's had personal stuff with him, I'm shocked JT Dunn hasn't been signed yet.
I am too.
Shocked. There's a lot of many talented people out in New England, where there's even some that don't get their due. Like we were talking about Dick Lane earlier off camera a little bit. Yeah. Dick Lane, I honestly believe, is super underrated.
Right.
And I've been saying that since the day I freaking wrestled him.
Yep.
So he's awesome, man. He's a
great guy. He was a great guest. I'm definitely going to bring him back. I forget guys that just come on. I like to bring him back in the summer when the weather's nice. The car rides ain't so bad. All right, listen. Why don't we get into fan questions?
Let's do it.
I changed the show up just a little.
Sure.
So first fan question is from Matthew McGee, Freight Train. Which version of the king is more you? Also, who has been your greatest adversary?
Ooh. It's funny because I looked at the questions, but I tried not to remember them on purpose. I think my favorite incarnation of the king, I've only had two. I've had King Leon VI and King Leon the Black Blade.
Okay.
And and that's honestly, that was what I was doing at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but it wasn't me. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It's it was I wanted to find a way to be more serious, but it wasn't me. Right. And I can be serious, but I got to be serious in my own skin. But that's why I think King Leon VI is more fun because I'm a really jokey dude. For anyone who actually knows me, I'm super sarcastic. I'm always joking in the back.
Okay.
All that stuff. So King Leon the Sixth was 100% me at 11 with an accent.
Nice.
So like, you know,
Right,
that's
right,
kind of
right.
the way it was. So I was definitely more comfortable in those shoes. And in regards to Adversary, it definitely has to do when I was King Leon the Sixth. There's a couple, truth be told, that's just kind of like helped mold me to where I am. Dick Lane is one of them.
Okay.
I've wrestled him God knows how many times, and always we have super fun. Always loved the kid. Bullet Joe is one of them too.
I like Bullet
Me and
Joe.
him, he was the first kid I actually wrestled that I found where I had like extreme chemistry with. Where it's like,
Nice.
man, like we can just do this
I
all
love
day.
watching Joe wrestle.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
He is awesome.
And other than that, I'd probably have to say Riot, Kellen Thomas.
Oh, nice.
Kellen Thomas. He's one of my best friends outside of wrestling,
Oh, okay.
included. And,
Solid veteran of New England.
yeah, oh my God, yeah. He's always been really good about being in my ear, be like, this is what the right thing, you know what I mean? And not even that, just like when we get in the ring. Remember, our first match was garbage. And I remember saying like I was like 50 pounds heavier. I looked like freaking sausage in the trash bag, man. It was not good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like I lucked the match back, and then I see the ones we've done, you know, in the past like year or two.
Right.
Way different, and the chemistry's there, and we have so much
Nice.
fun together, man. But definitely those three, I'd have to say for anything.
Great. I haven't talked about Bullet Joe on the show in a long time. His kid's awesome.
He
All right.
is.
Jason Britton, what made you come up with the name King Leon?
Okay, so it was more of a. We all been there. I did some backyard crap before I started actually wrestling.
Almost every wrestler.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figure. So you know what? If I say it, I say it.
Might as well.
I did some backyard
Tell the
crap. Absolutely, did some backyard crap before. I did a thing. I was King Bishop. It was bad. It was not good. But that's how it starts. And oddly enough, had Paul with me, my squire.
Yep.
So we were actually already had this thing formed. But we were thinking like when it got to the point where I'm like, man, like I want to do this for real.
Right.
I was like talking to him like, do you think we can do this for real? Like with this gimmick? Like, I mean, there's a lot of kings in wrestling and all this stuff. I'm like, but like, I gotta try. Cause like I was comfortable in the skin. So we did it. And then, but I was like, King Bishop's a lame name. So I'm like, I gotta think of something a little better. And I don't know where Leon came from. It was just kind of like, I really liked it sounded kind of pompous.
Yep.
And I was gonna go by King Leon III, oddly enough. My friend Anthony actually was there when I was thinking of the name.
Yeah.
And he was pretty much telling me, he's like, don't be the third. Everyone's the third. He's like, be the sixth, because that is very pompous and no one's gonna like you. And where are the other five? I'm like, you're right. So it just kind of steamrolled with some buddies, and that's what it came up to. Yeah.
All right. Todd Graham.
Yes.
Selfish question. Don't worry, Todd. A lot of people that do ask questions, they are selfish, and it's fine with me too. You know,
I'm with it, man. I'd rather know anyway. Absolutely.
You know, Todd Graham. Selfish question. What was your favorite match and moment with your time in Proving Ground?
Two of them, and they both involve Corinne Mink, and I think this is a guaranteed obvious answer for Todd.
I'm going to be bringing her up later, so because I saw
Good call.
Good matches.
Good call. So here's the thing with Corinne. I've actually only had one match, I believe, but the one match that we had has the most views on the Proving Ground channel. It was a taping for Proving Ground. It's my favorite match here. It was a taping, and me and her were trying to figure out a way to make it work. We're like, okay, so you're the golden girl at this time. I'm his golden excellence. I'm all this stuff, and I'm like, how can we mix this into our story? And I was like, man, it'd be really funny because I'd always joked about having like 15 ex-wives.
Yeah.
I was like, what if you were my fourth ex-wife? And she's like, oh. So then like just started going.
Yeah.
And we're like, what if we did this and we did this?
Right.
And it got to the point where I went out in the ring. I'm just cutting my promo, talking all my garbage. And Corinne comes out and she's like, oh yeah, it's me, honey. It's me, number 4 Leon. I'm like, and it turned into an alimony match.
That's awesome.
And it was super fun. And like, no one knew. It was literally a shoot with me and her. Todd might have known because we were just running it by him, obviously for safety reasons. Like, be like, hey, are you cool with the story-wise?
Right, of course.
But man, we got out there and she walloped me around the ring, which was great. And the finish turned out to be, it was actually her real engagement ring. So I had her engagement ring in the ref's pocket. Okay. And I proposed to her at the end of the show. And her fiance's in the crowd. So I proposed to her. She says yes, jumps around. I give her a behead agree, 1, 2, 3. And then I steal her cheesecake. And then like it just took off. Todd was like, we're rolling with this. And I'm like,
awesome.
All about it. And so the funny thing is the moment me and her actually had a royal wedding at one of the big shows for Proving Ground. It was like a couple hundred people there. And we were the main event as the wedding, where we got all of the dick busters kicked out of the building. Like all day, we won all of our matches. I had Middlesex Express holding my freaking robe to the ring as my guys. Squire was the oh my god, was he the stick boy instead of the flower girl? He was throwing sticks into the crowd.
Nice,
dude. awesome
I
segment.
gotta
Super
check that
fun.
video
It's
out.
so
I have
fun,
to.
man.
Is that on
So
YouTube?
oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
I'm
It's
definitely
so
gonna go
fun.
watch it tonight.
Dude, I tell
I
you
like
right
Todd a
now.
lot.
And the best part is,
He's a good dude.
me too. The best part is, a lot of people think we have heat. We don't.
A
At
lot
all.
of people will talk trash about the kid, but I mean,
At
have
all.
you really met them? These people that like say things about him, have you really met him? 'Cause
Yeah,
honestly,
he's a very good
he's
dude.
a good
Very
dude,
good dude.
man. I like him a lot. And he knows that. I've told him that many times.
You know, the one thing you're going to enjoy, I think, is the fact that the person who's doing our ceremony is
Yeah.
Tough Talk Tony Spencer.
Oh,
So I'm going to leave it at that.
Nice.
Just watch it from there
Yeah.
and go from there.
that's great. I got to get Tony on again. I want to get him with Mav, though.
Yeah,
'Cause
that'd be
Mav,
so,
like,
yeah.
Mav, we would tease Mav the other day because Mav was, he's like my, rotten step nephew or something. It was hilarious because on my episode 200, I
Yeah.
had Mav and Sonny. It was great. All right. Coach Mike Hollow.
Yes.
What separates Leon from the rest of the talent in the New England area?
Truth be told, I think it's creativity.
Okay.
I think it's creativity and charisma. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put myself.
I said something about how creative. You know what I mean? Both of you.
I really, really thrive on being more creative than the people around me. And I don't mean to say that in a way where I'm like, I'm better than you. It's
No,
more
I
of
know
a, it's
you
a
mean.
competitive nature.
Right.
We're all competing for the same thing as much as we're brothers and sisters in arms and we're doing the same thing
Right.
that we love, but you gotta find a way to step above. And I think that's where the whole King Leon came into play. Cause I was doing some for a while, like I was doing my, music videos, like Disney music videos,
Okay.
but parodies. As it's so weird, but like they caught on. It got me booked in other states and like things like that. And like, but like it comes down to just the creativity. It
Right.
really does. You know, I mean, and like I say, charisma wise, I just generally I'm a social butterfly. I always have
right.
been.
Yeah, you
I've
can tell,
always been like frontman of freaking heavy metal bands.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
a bartender most of my life.
Wow.
Always part of the front. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's just that's a more natural thing. But I think the creativity is really what makes me stick out.
Nice. And also, though, you're so good as a talker.
Thank
Seriously,
you, thank
know what I
you.
mean? That's just talking to you. You know
Right.
what I mean? It comes right off that you're a good talker. All right. He also follows that up with what differentiates his work from others in the New England area?
My work. Truth be told,
Yeah.
I don't think much right now. And I don't mean to
Okay.
say that in a bad way. I think it's my first couple years, like I said, I've only been in for a little less than 4 years, but the first
Right.
couple years was really me finding myself because I kind of got in in a bad way. Truth be told, I let my promos do my work instead of my in-ring work where I was still learning.
Right.
Bad way to go about it. Everyone comes in differently, but I, looking back, don't enjoy that. You know what I mean? Looking, I'm like, I wish I came in a better way. However, obviously gotten better as the time goes, and that comes with the reps. But I mean, I don't think really anything does make me stand out yet. But that is something I am working on and have
Right.
been through quarantine. I'll tell you this, man. I study tape at least 5-6 times a week.
That's
at
good.
least, like at
And there's
least.
so many different
There's
guys.
it's like I'm studying Guerrero just for psychology.
Yep,
I'm studying
yep.
Triple H for psychology. You got The Rock for promos. Obviously, he's one of the best on the mic, if not ever.
Yeah.
And even then, I go to Stone Cold. I'll go to oddly enough, even Mick Foley for aggression.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
Yep.
like a lot of people don't realize, though he was hardcore, he was super aggressive in his
Right.
attack. But like just stuff like that, man. So like it is. I don't think anything differentiates me yet, but I do believe something will.
Well, I'll tell you, there's two guys you should check out, honestly,
Yep.
as their heel work is incredible. Eric Embry and Brian Christopher. I don't know if you ever seen when Brian at one time had so many belts, he used to carry a little red wagon.
I didn't.
Like that time, his promos and everything.
I'll check that out. That's awesome.
And this is I get from wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like when we talk, I'll be like, who did you like studying?
Right.
And all these guys are a little younger than me.
Of course.
But they'll be like, I love Derek Embry. I love fucking Brian. Sorry, Dick. I love Brian Christopher.
Right.
You know what I mean? Jamie Dundee was a little too wild on the microphone and a little bit on the small side.
See, I don't even know him.
Oh, see.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, these are people.
You gotta watch
yeah.
Memphis, man. Memphis is incredible. I'm telling you, if you start watching, you'll probably fall in love with it and be like, wow.
I'll check it
never
out. No,
getting-
for sure. I'll definitely check it
that's
out.
Jerry Lawler's promotion.
Yes.
And in the longest time in like the late 70s and then the 80s and 90s, what they would do is Jeff Jarrett's father, Jerry Jarrett, would book.
Yeah, I know
for
about the
6
yep.
months, and then, it was pretty cool. So it was always different, though. You know
That's
what I mean?
really cool. I do like that.
You got to check that out. All right. Seeing that Mike Hollow asked, just asked the last two questions.
Sure.
And I never asked you, who trained you?
Jose Perez.
Nice.
Jose Perez.
He's
So,
coming on soon, too.
man, I love that guy. Like,
Great guy.
I'll tell you something about Jose. He, for the people who don't know, he's a ball buster, big time. If you actually know Jose,
Yep.
but like
Yep.
that, the more he messes with you, honestly,
Right.
the more he
likes
likes you. That's how he
Absolutely.
is. And like, he ribs me a lot. And like, you know what? I can't say enough good things about that guy. He literally is like molded me into like, the person I am. Like, I mean, truth be told, the first couple of years, my head was inflated. I was not in the place I should have been mentally. I wasn't in certain places. I mean, we all have those moments. I don't care who you are. Everyone finds them. And luckily, he was one of those guys who was like, hey, man, check, and like he was always one of those guys to keep checking on me, even through hard times in real life, Nice. Invited me over to his house for Thanksgiving one year, stuff like that. Legitimately genuine dude who I couldn't be happier that I met, But he trained me, I'd like to say from the ground up. Like I said, I had a month with Bo years before I actually started, but it wasn't for me at the time.
Right.
But when I got with Jose, he made you ask why. Yeah. And that was important. Like he's like, well, why'd you do that? And he wouldn't give you the answer until like you really knew, like, okay, he's not going to get the answer. But he was like, he'd make you think about it and really put you on the spot on it. And I loved that about him. First month being with him, his goal was to make me throw up every week, and he did it good for a good month and a half. Because oh my god,
nice. I mean,
it was rough. it was a rough one, but it was definitely helped. You get cardio out of it, and obviously he's like, well, this is good. You're not throwing up anymore, so we're definitely making progress. Stuff like that, and other than Jose, I definitely had a couple months. It was only like 3 or 4 months, but with JT and trips, we did a lot. We just did a once a week thing. We were there for like 4 or 5 hours, but like
two guys that have a lot of knowledge.
It came down to more of the refinement. It was like, hey, let's polish it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you can't do this. Well, let me help you figure out why you can't do that.
Right.
And they were really good about that, man. Like those are guys that I respect, honestly. So much.
Yeah,
so.
I would imagine. So, and you had said earlier too, like you're surprised JT hasn't.
I am too. That kid's naturally.
I mean, a lot of people go his side. But let me tell you something. His finishing maneuver.
You can knock anyone out with it.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's funny because I think he was one of the people I was talking to when it first came about, but I was using for a finish for a while, like a DVD modified FU kind of thing. Yeah. And there are a couple people who were like, yeah, like, how are you going to hit that on bigger dudes? Like, I'm strong, but I'm not picking up like Ace Romero's every day or guys like that. Big some beefcakes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not that I couldn't. It's just like, why strain yourself?
Right.
So it's like, you got to find a move you can do to everybody. Like, for instance, you got JT with the roaring elbow. You got Trips with the leg drop. You can leg drop anybody. It's like things like that really make sense, which is truthfully why I went to the pedigree, because Triple H is my favorite of all time. So
is he? Okay.
Oh, big time. So it was kind of like it was a nod. And then, but also it was like, I also think this works because it's beheading somebody. You got him in a guillotine. Like it worked. So I was like, you know what? I'm doing this and I can do it to literally anyone. So
that's good.
Yeah.
And you're right though, that you definitely need a finish
God.
that you can give to everybody.
Yep. I've had some struggles with them. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Peter Gerardi, which she's a wrestler. Is that the Mighty Bosch?
Mighty Bosch. Yes, it is.
Sorry, Peter. When things return to some kind of normal, who are 6 wrestlers you want to work either against or with as a team? Not 4, not 5, not 7. 6.
6. Okay.
I got you, Pete.
I mean, it's gonna be very, very obvious, but I mean, I want to work whoever's the best.
Yeah.
If I can get to Christian, if I can get to JT, I want those matches one way or another because, like, I believe I can hold up with them. I mean, they're obviously better than me, but iron sharpens iron, and that's what needs to happen.
Exactly.
I can't get along with wrestling the same 5 guys for the rest of my career.
You're only going to get better wrestling guys like that. And you can get better against guys less talented
for sure.
Too. There's no doubt.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you want the best of the best to pick their brains, to show you what's happening. Yep. And guys like Casanova, JT for sure. Who else is out there right now? I'd love to have a one-on-one with Bronson. Me and him have talked about it, and me and him, I know would probably beat the crap out of each other, but it would be a nice. Big old hoss fight.
We're going to go through a lot of young wrestlers.
Yeah.
In the name game, because you gave me a few names.
Yes.
And then you had brought up how bring up and punch.
Yeah.
So I decided the rest of them are going to be pretty much young upcoming guys.
I love it. I love it.
So.
Here's one that I really want to wrestle. He's newer, but I have a lot of faith in this kid. He's like, these kids, oddly enough, some of these Connecticut boys have become like my little, they're my sons in a way.
Okay.
Not really, but like they
I know
are.
What you mean.
My Kylon King. I love Kyle. I don't know if you've heard of him or not.
No, I have not.
Check him out. He's very good. He's a very young kid. Like I think he only might be 19, 20, but like he had a match with Casanova recently and phenomenal.
Nice.
That's cool. Selling everything, just such a good wrestler for his age. He's only got
definitely check him
sky's the damn limit for that kid. It's there's so many.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to like put it out
Have
put
you
it out there.
wrestled BRG yet? Ryan Gosling?
Well, we've wrestled a bunch. Back in the XWA days when he was there, we wrestled a lot. He was actually a tag team partner of mine for a while, and then I went if I'm not mistaken, the switch happened where John Steele and him switched roles. So then I had Steele on my team as a heel and BRG. And it was just like this. It was like the students kind of just fighting and fighting and fighting. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, we've definitely had our mix-ups. There's actually a GIF, one of my first ones I ever posted, one of my favorites to this day. I had Joey Bones in like a little sidewalk slam. And then Brett comes running in and I hit him with the black hole in the sidewalk slam. It was just so cool, man. It was so cool.
I like watching when they do that.
Oh, yeah.
Double, you hit two guys with one
thing, yeah.
Yeah, and it's two moves in a way, but
exactly.
Awesome. All right, Becky Gosling.
Yes.
And I don't think she's related to BRG.
No, she's married to Jesse. Yes.
Did you always want to be a wrestler?
Oh God, yeah. I know it's a super basic question, but like, there's never been a doubt. Like, I mean, I was a kid, born in '89. My main thing was the Attitude Era.
Right.
Obviously, you know, I mean, a lot of us in this age group grew up with that, but like, I actually liked WCW before I ever liked WWF.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but the Misfits in action, Lash LaRue and all those guys, I was into them. And that was the thing that drew me in, oddly enough. But as I kept going, you know, it's just like when I saw it, I'm like, I want this as my life, you know? And my parents always used to buy every pay-per-view for me, which was great. We'd have the kids around the neighborhood come over and watch.
Right.
And I'm sure their parents kicked in or whatever because they were like $50-$40 at the time, whatever it was. But either way, since I was a kid, man, I've always wanted to. I mean, there was a dip in my teenage years where I started like another,
Maybe it was time for the girls.
Probably,
maybe, you know.
But then once I was already past that point, I was like, man, wrestling's still really fun and cool. And then it just turned into that. But yeah, since I was a literal, as long as I can remember.
What made you want to become one?
Oh, wow. I don't know. You know, it's weird because I've actually never been asked that question, oddly enough. I think it was just the drama of it. I've always enjoyed the acting side of all of it. Including, I mean, the wrestling's great, obviously, but I've always enjoyed the acting side. And I'm like, I already know I love wrestling. I know I enjoy this part, and that's like the best of both worlds. It's literally a brutal Broadway. You know what I mean? Like, it's basically what it is.
Violent soap opera.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and I don't know. I guess I like just being wrapped around it in general. I guess it just came from the passion of what I already enjoyed about it, and I'm like, I want to do that because of how much I love it. And that was all it was.
I'm going to skip over a last question because I want to get through these so we can play other parts of the game.
Sure.
Dave Delafontaine, what wrestler inspired your in-ring style?
There's a few. Triple H being definitely one of them, again, using the pedigree and stuff like that. I watched a lot of Kevin Steen and Kevin Owens coming in. A lot of people don't realize this about me because I was very, again, under the crown kind of, you know, didn't really help. But I'm a lot more athletic than people think I am. I can do a lot of stuff that I haven't done on purpose because it just doesn't make sense to. And he's always a guy who I've looked at. I'm like, you know, he's a bigger dude. I'm a bigger dude. But he can move like a small guy when he wants to. And I know I can as well. And like, that's something I'm like, I got to follow why and how he's doing this. So a lot of the things that I've kind of realized is like, I got to follow and look at guys like that a lot more, you know? Keith Lee is a perfect example. I mean, that guy is just literally amazing. Like, you got a guy who can lift anybody on that roster, but also outflip some of the smaller guys on that roster.
I mean, he can, leapfrog. Baron Corbin.
The guy, and Baron Corbin is not a small dude.
Exactly.
So, and like,
who I actually like. What do you think of his honestly, though,
you know what? No,
he comes from football.
I
think he's good.
I love Baron Corbin.
And King Corbin.
My only issue with Baron Corbin is he became King Corbin. And I'm not saying it's like, oh, he did it. I don't think that at all. But if you look at what I looked like and you look at what he looked like, it's like,
that's funny.
It's so similar, man. And like, that was actually a big reason why I got rid of the King stuff too. Because I'm like, there's already a new King out there. And like, popular, of course.
King,
but King Corbin is now on TV. And that's his real character. Not just, I'm King of the Ring. Now it's really who he is. So I'm like, you know what?
I like him.
I agree. I think he's great. And that's like kind of why I'm like, damn, man. Like, you know, like, why didn't I get there first? But obviously.
I did hear about him. I heard he's one of the safest wrestlers.
I've heard that as well.
You know what I mean? Like, which unlike, let's say, Nia Jax, even Seth Rollins a little bit. You know what I mean? Must be nice, though, like, to know you. Like, CM Punk had those horror shows with Ryback. And I also heard a lot of other people didn't.
Oh, really?
That's just his style.
Yeah, I mean,
he was rough.
I mean, the thing is like, I've actually heard that about Corbin, where he is like one of the safest wrestlers. But you know what though? It's because he follows the system correctly. And you know, and the best part about Corbin, a lot of people don't realize this, and I think this is why I like him so much. His work has gotten obviously instrumentally better, and like insane, but he's probably one of the better storytellers WWE has. And people don't realize that until I'm telling you.
He's a great heel.
You're amazing. And
I think he'll be a great babyface if they ever turn him. I really do.
I kind of just hope they don't, because he's
will,
that
though.
good. I know they will, but he is that good of a heel
Yeah.
that I feel like he can be a career heel.
Right.
And no one would even blink an eye.
You know, I just want to see if he can pull it off, because I mean, if he can become an incredible babyface, he could get a title run. I could see a title run.
He should
in a few years.
He will definitely have one.
You know,
There's
I
no
think
doubt that
he's
it's sooner or
good.
later.
I really do.
I agree with you.
All right. Haley Nelson. I 100% read that wrong, laughing out loud. I thought you were talking about your positivity podcast. That was on your post.
Okay.
And are you going to you are going to interview yourself in character? That would have been funny.
That would have been funny, actually.
All right. Richard F. Fonseca,
I believe.
Thank you. I butcher everybody's
That's
name.
all good.
Sorry, Richard. What's your thoughts about the time you got busted open the hard way by referee Rich? Please tell me this is referee
Rich Bass. It is Rich
Dang.
Bass.
All
Okay,
right,
so
yeah, that story. I love it.
love Rich Bass to death.
Good guy.
So he's one of my
Real
favorite
good guy.
people I've honestly met
Yep.
in wrestling. Him, Tony P. I used to hang out with them a lot when I was doing TRP shows. When I first started, I was still getting used to everybody.
Right.
And they were like my little people
Nice.
because I wrestled with them at XWA.
Yeah. Is
So
Tony having a baby?
he is. Congratulations, Tony. Yeah,
Tony. I'm glad
congratulations.
you brought him up
Yeah.
so we can say that.
But man, yeah. So Rich Bass, I was at Wrestling As of Tomorrow. It was my first show that I ever had there. I think
Okay.
it was What 9, and it was me versus Masshole Mike McCarthy.
Nice.
It was awesome. So we got out there. I've never wrestled Mike before, but they were like, we were the first match of the show, and they're like, listen, this is basically your tryout in a way.
Yeah.
Like, we know that you guys can wrestle, but we
Right.
want to see how you can really react.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's do it, man. I was probably the most comfortable I've ever been in my skin at that point. So I was like, let's go. So me and Mike are talking, getting stuff together. Finally getting to the match. Rich is our referee.
Yep.
Me and Mike are killing it. We're having a blast. He's doing his strengths, my strengths. I'm
Yep.
flipping the crowd off because I can hear. I'm like, this is
Right,
great.
right.
I could be like that guy.
Yeah.
Super fun. And then so we get to a spot where he kind of goes for this little stage dive thing at me. I catch him and I black hole him from the second rope.
Nice.
Beautiful, looked awesome.
Yeah.
I hook the leg, and here's Rich right on top. He's good, right in position. 1, 2, and then when the big 2 false, he comes out, elbow right to the forehead. Right to the forehead. And I was like, immediately knew it because it was warm. I'm like, oh no. It was like, it was immediate. And there was no wait.
Yeah.
So I finally get up and it's just covered. I'm like, oh
Rich.
no. But it was the first match. So here's
Yeah.
the thing. If it was later in the show,
Yeah.
I probably would have finished the match. Being the first match,
Yep.
I can't bloody up the canvas. We had a
No,
couple
I
things
hear you.
left.
Right. So yeah, just called it.
I called it and we had to
to
go. But so I did a promo after the fact because I was like, man, they're like, do a promo with the face because it looks
Right,
real good. So
right.
let's get that going. I'm like, let's do it. So got real aggressive,
Yep.
real into it. And so Rich comes back. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, it's fine. It happens. I know it was an accident.
You end up getting stitches?
So funny thing, I left immediately. I'm like, hey, can I just grab a towel? I'll be back. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'll be back. I went and got stitched up, came back, was back in time for the main event, hanging out, and Rich bought me a shot right after. He's like, this is an apology shot. I'm like, hey man, you don't have to, but I'll take it.
That's it. They gave me another one there, buddy.
Yeah, it's all good.
No,
but it was super funny, and to this day, people he'll come up to me like, hey, you want some? You want them? Like, so, it's a good time. But yeah,
Rich a good guy, man.
It's-
Really good
he
guy.
really is.
All right. Ken Watson. Again, we're back to the people like Todd when he said selfish.
Yeah.
I love you, Kenny B. Dunn. Why haven't you let Kenny B. Dunn escort you and your future championship belts to ringside?
Well, first off, haven't won the belts yet, Kenny, so we're gonna have to talk when it happens.
Kenny, get up your butt and help him win the belt.
And B, I don't think me and Kenny work anywhere together, really.
No?
Yeah, I don't think so. I did House of Bricks for a good amount of time in my first year. It was
Right.
very, very good for me to learn.
Yep.
Brick House was great with that. He helped me a lot. But it was like, I was saying a little earlier to you, it comes down to, I'm not going to say I outgrew them because I didn't outgrow them, but I
Right.
need to find new paths. You
Yep.
got to grow as a
Yep.
wrestler, as a
Right, I
person.
understand that.
And that's pretty much what it came down to. So it was like, I haven't wrestled for House of Bricks, haven't wrestled for RWA, all that stuff in a while, but it's not a personal thing. It's a me thing,
Well, here we go. Because
that's kind of what I figured. So now let's just get it out of the way.
Mike Brickhouse Baker says, why are you so distant from the people you started with? Why did you stop wrestling for House of Bricks, RWA, RICW? What's RWA's?
Renegade Wrestling
That's what I
Alliance.
thought.
Yep.
I shouldn't want to say it wrong.
No, it's fine. Yep.
And the other one is Rhode Island Championship Wrestling.
Yes. So I don't think it comes down to distance. I really don't.
Okay.
Because, it's like If I have become distant, it's not a malicious thing.
Right.
It really is because, like I said, like again, it got to the point where the character was growing exponentially. We were getting a lot of out of state stuff, and it's not that it wasn't like, oh, I don't have time for you guys anymore. It really came down to, okay, I got to focus on the opportunity and really make the opportunity worth it. But it's not like whenever I saw anybody, it was never like, oh, I don't like them. I love most of the people I came in with. There's a handful of people where I'm like, okay, not a fan. But it's everyone has them. Everyone has them. But
of course.
But like for the most part, like I mean, I can even sit here and say, like, even like Brickhouse, like it's nothing but love. It's nothing but love for those guys. Even T. I know me and T aren't really eye to eye right now for personal reasons.
AJP's dad.
Yeah, but I love T. Like, you know, even now, even with all the there's heat, I don't care. I don't. I really don't. I don't. He's a great guy. And I really don't. Like that's the thing is like I've been especially lately preaching the whole positivity thing. I mean it. I mean it. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not a ploy. It's not a just me trying to get over. I literally believe that like there needs to be more positivity in wrestling.
And if you have to live it yourself if you want to tell people.
And that's the thing.
I live with a girlfriend who does that.
And it's important. You got to manifest that positivity one way or another. And like so I want to say personally to anybody listening, like I don't have a problem with you. And if you do think I do, please talk to me. I have no problem having a conversation. I've cleared plenty of air with people who are like, oh, Steve's pompous or this. I'm opinionated. I am outspoken. But I'm also not trying to be an asshole. Sorry.
But you know, if you have an issue, talk to you. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Absolutely. But I don't think he means anything malicious by that. Like I said, I do believe it comes from a place of love. And Brickhouse, love you to death, man. Honest to God, it's not even a way. So yeah.
All right. So now we're gonna play a couple little games here.
Sure.
I know you love music.
Love music, yeah.
And that's me. I love music more than anything in the world except for my family.
Fair.
You know?
Fair.
And I also like some like plants.
Okay.
I'm in love with like one plant.
Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah.
All right.
The ficus probably. Yeah.
So I only have one question like on this, but one hit wonders. Because I remember you made that post.
Yes, I did.
And would Walk 500 Miles by the Proclaimers or Brandy from Looking Glass?
Brandy.
Yeah, you go
Brandy.
Brandy?
I love 500 Miles, but I love
Wasn't
Brandy.
that the number one? Was that pick number one?
Number one that won, which beat Chumbawamba, oddly enough, was oh my God, Come On Eileen.
Oh, all right. Well,
which is a good one. Very good one. Yeah.
I like that song.
Oh wait, no, is that the one? No, it was Take On Me. I apologize. Take On Me won. Yes. Come On Eileen and Brandy got eliminated back to back, and those were my two picks.
Wow.
So I was distraught. I'm like, come on.
Brandy is my all-time one.
Is it?
It's just an incredible song.
I agree with you.
The story, I have a 13-year-old grandson
who
loves music that I cannot even listen to. Okay?
Fair.
But like this, he'll let me play him some music. And he loves stories in songs.
Yes.
And I told him, I said, well, I don't understand why you like your music. Tell a story.
Yeah, Brandy is probably one of the better. I listen to that weekly still. I really do.
Honestly, if I'm in a bad mood, I can just put on Brandy and I'm in a better mood.
Favorite time to watch it, windows down, cruising. I don't care what the weather is. I'm just enjoying that on full blast in the car.
Absolutely.
Big fan.
All right. So I do have another question that could be musical. So we'll see what you decide to pick. Pick one, answer three. So you got to pick one out of music, TV, or movies.
TV. Let's go TV.
Right. Who's your favorite actor or actress on television?
Oh.
Not movies now. This is television.
Oh, boy. God. I got to go. Can't remember his real name. That's terrible.
What's his character?
Ron Swanson.
Oh, I don't know him.
Ron Swanson.
Yeah, from Parks and Rec.
Or hear me out. I can actually get away with this. Chris Pratt because of Parks and Rec. I know it's a little bit of both.
Okay, I got to tell you this real quick before you say it. Because you said this guy, Ron, what's his last name?
Swanson.
Yeah. My son dressed up as him for Halloween one year. And his mother said to him, like, who are you? And he said, I'm Ron Swanson. And she said, is he a pedophile? Because that's what you look like.
My God,
his mother said that to him.
I can see if done wrong why that would be the look, yeah.
But yeah, so Parks and Rec, that Ron Swanson.
Yeah, probably Ron Swanson. Or what's the other one? I lied. I know it. Andy Samberg. Andy Samberg from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Probably one of my favorite things he's ever done.
Okay,
Love
excellent. It. And what's like if you were trying to sell me on a show, what's the must-watch show that I have to see that I haven't? I watch a lot of TV
Cobra Kai.
There you go.
Cobra Kai, man.
Everyone's been
Listen,
saying that.
and I have a good reason why I think it's probably one of the best ones out there because I never, and I'm sorry if anyone hates me for this, have seen any Karate Kid.
Right.
Not
I only
once.
seen it once when I was like a long time
Not
ago.
once.
Right.
And someone's like, you got to watch Cobra Kai. I'm like, man, I don't even know what, I don't even ever seen it. I know the story, Miyagi, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it. Watched the first episode and binged it. I don't remember getting up after that. Like it was like that good. Yeah, it's
Because
awesome.
I just told my girl that we need to watch this
amazing,
because
man.
every single person that I know
Yeah.
and has brought it up says nothing but like this is the show.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. Trust me, watch it.
Okay. How about tell me a TV show you watch that would surprise me.
Friends. No, I don't know if that would surprise you, but
Not really. No,
yeah,
but,
okay.
yeah.
If that's the case, the one that I watched that would surprise you. Pokemon.
Okay.
I don't know. I know I do stuff on Pokemon,
well,
but
I'm
you know what, man?
25 years older than
Yeah,
you, so.
but I don't know because, like, I mean,
Pokemon,
I generally am pretty transparent about what I'm, doing for the most part.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't think there's anything really off the beaten path that you would really guess. Yeah.
Well, seeing you said Pokemon, I just had a friend of mine, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave Cleary. Dave, you're awesome. He sold his Pokemon collection.
Let me guess, thousands and thousands of dollars. Yep.
He at least had enough money for a down payment on a second house, a condo down in Florida.
That's how that goes. It's insane. Right now is insane.
His Pokemon, and I teased everybody about Pokemon when
Yeah. It's funny. I grew
he
up.
bought a house.
I grew up with cards my whole life. I started with Pokemon, went to Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yep.
I played Magic the Gathering for years. Still
Right.
do on computer, but
Yep.
like I sold a couple of my Magic collections for thousands and thousands of dollars
Really?
years back. But
See, I was collecting the wrong stuff.
you were. I mean, honestly, I should have started
you're right.
earlier. But yes.
I couldn't believe it because I asked him, I said, Dave, did you hit the lottery or something? He
Yep.
goes, no, I sold my Pokemon collection. I said, what? He goes,
Yeah, it's insane.
Lee, you have no idea, man. He said, I had no idea how much it was worth till someone told me, and I bought a house.
You know what's funny too is the fact that like there's ways to get those cards graded, and a lot of people don't realize. But
Really?
if you get like for instance, just gotta throw it out there for the nerds listening. If you get like a Charizard first edition from like the first set graded and it becomes a 10, it can be worth upwards of $250,000-$300,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. And that's real money that people will buy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
If you
So,
have Pokemon
that's
guys,
what, if you have Pokemon,
check 'em.
shoot me a message.
Yeah. All right. So this is a segment I took from my friend Dan Bolia,
Okay.
who's been a guest on the show 9 times.
Wow,
He
okay.
has a show called Let Freedom Ring out of the Merrimack Studios. Great show. If you ever want to be a guest, I'll get you. in
Yeah,
touch
absolutely.
with him. All right. Called blank or blank. Blank versus blank. I'm going to give you 2 things. You just pick one.
Sure.
Todd Graham, Jim Burgoyne.
Todd Graham. I know Todd way better than I know Jim.
Yeah.
I actually do enjoy both of them, but definitely
Right.
Todd.
Okay. And I didn't do that to
No,
get you in trouble.
dude, please go.
Yeah, Jim's a great guy,
Let's have
too.
fun
He
with
is.
it. I don't care.
Yeah. Steve Lambert or AJP.
Steve Lambert, especially during quarantine.
Okay.
Me and him talk a lot. He's a very good dude. You know,
right.
he's just generally
Excellent.
personal. Yeah.
All right. Soundgarden or Pearl Jam?
Pearl Jam.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So we got through the
Love
blank
me
verse.
some Pearl Jam.
I was going to do more, but I really want to do the name game.
I love the name game,
right.
man. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, good. So you gave me 5 names, and we'll do them first.
Sure.
Jose Perez.
Again, can't say nothing
Yep.
about him. Love that guy to death.
Okay.
He's family to me at this point.
And just so you know, I have a lot of respect for Jose.
Oh man.
I'll tell you a story
Amazing.
afterwards.
Yes, absolutely.
His whole family's awesome.
I agree. Oh,
I don't
dude,
know Ricky
Claudia,
that well.
Claudia
I don't
and
know his son
D.
that well.
I don't know Ricky either, but
I met D quite
Yep.
a few times, but Claudia, I love her.
Claudia's the best.
She's awesome.
Oh, actually, you know what? While we're on the Jose thing,
Yeah.
I posted
coming
this.
on soon.
I got to put this out there, but 3 days ago, I got a random call from him. He calls me every now and again, but he was like, "Hey, man," he's like, "So, I'm a little drunk, but I wanted to, I figure I crap on you every time I'm drunk." So I was like, "Oh, great, here we go." Like that's just this is how he is. He's like,
Yeah.
he goes, "What's up, bitch?" Like whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, "But it's not going to be me tonight. I don't really have the energy. So can I video chat you?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he puts me on. I figured it might be Claudia or some
right.
some indie guy. He's got New Jack looking me face to face in the phone. And I'll leave it exploited, but he said some stuff. And I'm like, dude, this is the coolest night. Like, I woke up from a nap and I got
Dude,
New
that
Jack
is
talking to
awesome.
me. It was the coolest thing.
I love New Jack.
Yeah, and like he was, oh, dude, it was so cool. Like I'm just like, what is happening right
Yeah.
now? Like I'm smoking a butt, just kind of look. I'm like, all right. I'm like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with it, man. I'm with
you
it.
just had a great day.
This is great. Like, whatever, I'm with it. So yeah.
I had Daniel Baker. I don't know if you know Danny. He's a tattoo
Yeah, I
artist.
love Danny. Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, he's awesome, right? But he got Hornswoggle to wish me Congratulations on 200 episodes. And I know that had to cost him some money. So when I see you at the Hall of Fame, Danny, you won't be buying me drinks.
Awesome.
I'll be buying you drinks.
That's awesome.
All right. Anthony Katina.
Love the kid. I feel like he's like me in a lot of ways.
Okay.
He's way better looking, but he's also very misunderstood. I don't mean that like, it's not a pity thing. It's like,
right.
I really believe it comes down to the misunderstanding of the competitive nature of what we do and the fact that the person themselves are also a good person.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Like there's really that line that a lot of people don't see because you see pomposity and you see ego and all this other stuff like that, and which is fair.
You see it a lot.
You see it a lot. And again, very guilty of it myself at one point. And again, you got to put yourself in check. And like he's also had that road. But this guy's probably, honest to God, one of the most humble people I've met in a long time. Like we talk a good amount, or regardless. And great mind for the business.
Yes.
Very nice guy. Like when you actually get to know him, I enjoy him very much.
I really enjoyed having him on the show. He seemed like a great guy.
Super respectful.
Yeah. And we saw, you said you watched the episode.
Yes.
There were things that I was like, he would obviously be a threat walking into any wrestling school for his size alone. And then if he's at this level that he's at now, then it's going to get worse because they're going to see how good he is.
Yep. He's phenomenal in the ring. He's got the body to make it work. He's got the size. He can talk. He's got the back. He's there. He is.
I would not be surprised if he's the next guy.
I agree.
From this area. The Riot, Kellen Thomas.
One of my best friends in life. I met him because of wrestling, but he's just turned into one of my very good friends. Right. He's
hell of a talent.
Always been just such a. He's one of those guys. It's like, you got lightning rods in the locker room. He's the opposite. He's literally just like so. He is who he is.
Right.
And I respect that about him. I think that's what really drew me to him. He helped me a lot in early days with just a couple in-ring stuff, but he was always there to help. And like then I hung out with him outside of wrestling. He actually became one of my drinking buddies for a while.
There you go.
We used to hit the town a good amount. And man, he's just like generally a good guy.
Yeah.
Literally a good dude.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay. Insane Dick Lane, the metahuman supervillain.
Most underrated talent in New England. I don't care what anybody says.
It definitely could be.
He's got, Dick Lane is one of those guys, I've talked to him about this where he could have the world in his hands, but Dick Lane likes to just be around his friends. And I respect that a lot.
Yeah.
And like, that's the thing is like, he's like, I don't want to go out and do all this stuff anymore, really. Like, he's like, well, obviously I'll take the trips, but I'm not looking to get big and famous at this point. He's like, I love doing it because I want to have, and I love that. I really do.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a really cool thing about him.
Nice. All right. Sully Banger.
Love Sully. Me and him have, I probably had more heart to hearts with him than I've had with a lot of people, like real life stuff. Yeah. I met him, this is a funny story. I met him at Live Prov when he was first starting it off as Live Prov. And I went there as a, pretty much just starting out and really trying to, go meet people.
Yeah.
And I forget what was said, but I got a message from Sully the next day. He's like, you're not, pretty much saying like, it's like, I don't know who you think you are. You try to come into my lot. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I was like, this is a big misunderstanding, man. And like to this day, I still give him crap about that. Just like generally, I'm like, hey, you remember when you yelled at me for being in your locker room? Like just crap like that. But me and him have gotten really close. We have a lot of mutual respect for each other. At least I have a lot of respect for him, if nothing else. He's one of those guys who you can really turn to when you're having a rough day or a rough time in general. And he's like a protector in a way, as weird as that sounds, You
need those type of people in your life.
Absolutely.
You really do. And he's a hell of a talent, too.
Oh, my God. I love Sully. I had my first cage match with him. It was a blast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a blast.
Now, who was that for?
XWA.
Okay.
Jose had a couple weeks where it was just him running the show because I believe Mike was in Florida. And Jose was like, well, we're just going to get real crazy with it. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Awesome. All right. So now I told you earlier, we'll spend the next 14 minutes or so talking about some young talent.
Let's do it.
We'll start with that kid that's going to be here next week, Channing Thomas.
Channing Thomas. Oh, God, I saw him.
Don't be surprised if he's the next one either.
I wouldn't at all. I saw him for the first time wrestle Alec Price. Oh, I know.
Both of those kids.
At Belltime Club.
Yeah.
And it was during I believe a Chad Epic show, if I'm not mistaken, but it was just a weird one. First time I ever met him, and I'm just looking at this kid, and I'm like, this kid's gonna be like, they're both, I didn't, honestly, I'm gonna be real, I did not see it with Alec at first.
No, well, we're not before you see him work. Then once you see him
blew my mind. I'm like, where did he come from? Like, it's amazing. I love it. But, I've never had a bad interaction with the kid.
Right.
I don't know if there's any personal stuff generally, but I haven't talked to him in a long time. But
Yeah.
I mean, I have zero issue with that guy. I think he's a really good dude and a phenomenal talent. So,
Right. And
yeah.
you're not the only one, and Alec will probably be the one to tell you too that, he's a smaller guy, so
Yeah.
people don't.
It wasn't.
You know?
I think he was just held back by a lot of the people, and not to say that in a bad way that he
Right.
was working though.
Right.
Now he's getting these like really phenomenal
Yeah.
people he's working because
Yeah.
of Limitless, and like they have molded that boy into like a
Yep.
star. He's going to be huge.
Now, did you follow Ring of Honor when they first started in 2002?
Truthfully, I didn't. I didn't.
Because there's a kid that wrestled for Special K. His name was Deranged.
Yeah, I know of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I seen him walk to the ring, I'm like,
No way.
what
yeah.
is this kid
Yeah.
gonna do? By the time he left the ring, I couldn't wait to leave where I was.
Just to go
So
talk to him and
and learn more about him.
that's awesome.
The kid was that good. Like within 9 minutes, I went from, get this kid. I told him that to his
Yeah.
face. I was like, as a fan, I'm like, what's this kid gonna do? Loki's in the ring. He's gonna kill him.
Yeah.
And
he showed up,
and
and
Loki did kill him.
I'm sure.
But I paid attention to him afterwards, and I'll tell you, man, that kid is really good. Man.
Yeah, and
Really
that's
good.
what I mean. That's how I feel about Alec. He's insane. He's
Yeah.
going to he's only going to get better.
Absolutely.
That's the thing is like, and no, like, I don't think people realize what kind of treat they're really in for when I can see what he's. I feel like I can see what he's going to be,
Yeah.
and I think it's going to be awesome. So
it was
I'm really-
either a UFO show or a Bell Time Club. Him and Benny Juke stole the show.
That makes sense, yep.
That also had Brian Malonis versus Chris Dickinson.
Wow. Okay,
And
so that
Benny
says
and
something.
Alex stole
That
the
says
show.
something.
I was there, man. And
That's
they
awesome.
did. All right. We just talked about Alec too. So how about he's not really in the ring, but he's one of my favorite guys I just met in the last year, Bobby Rossi.
I don't like Bobby.
No?
Nope. I don't
Okay.
get along with him at all.
All right. Sorry, Bobby.
No, that's it. I don't even care. At
I
this point, it's gotten to the look. Like I said, there's a handful of people
Yep.
don't like,
That's
and
it.
I'm going to be honest with anybody if they want my honesty.
That's cool.
He's never when I first came in. Oddly enough, he was the first person I ever met when I got into wrestling ever. Well, besides the bow time, but like when it
Right,
really
right,
started
okay, I
getting
know
in,
what you're saying,
he's
yeah.
the first person I ever met, and it was super cool to me, super chill. And out of nowhere, I don't know what it was. I think he thought again the whole egotistical thing came
Yep.
up, and he became kind of. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. He's just
All
kind of, I do not get along with him at all.
Okay. That surprised me.
Yeah.
How about this kid's really good too, though. Nico Silva.
He's awesome. I had one match with him in
Did
Top
you
Rope.
really? You did
Oh
wrestle?
my God. So he was probably my best match I had in Top Rope. We had a good,
unreal, man.
I think it was like a good 15-minute match.
Nice.
And it was really cool to me because like I've heard of him, never really met
Right.
him before. And very, very nice guy, family man. Love that about him
Yes,
personally.
yes.
I think that's really cool
Yeah.
when you can actually find that line and realize that this and this are different.
Yep.
And I respect that a lot about him. So when we went out there, I was a little nervous, honestly, because I'm like, I know this kid's better than me. Like,
Right.
and that's okay. I knew
Yeah.
he was, but I'm like, this is going to make me better.
Absolutely.
So we called the match. We did our stuff, and I think it was Rich Bass, oddly enough, as my referee, or it was Tony P. It was one of the two, but it was like
Okay.
it was my boys. So I'm like, this is cool. We going out there. And I remember when I got through the curtain, I think it was Tony P. He's like, those are the kind of matches that you need to have all the time. I was like, that feels good. And a
That's
few
cool.
people said they were like, you guys are probably the best match of the night. I'm like, it felt
Nice.
great, man.
Yeah.
And I really like Nico.
Yeah.
I'd love to get in the ring with him
So
sometime again,
talented,
for
man.
sure.
I need to see him wrestle more.
Oh my God,
That's,
yeah.
definitely.
He has. It's weird because like people don't realize this with wrestling in New England, but like
Right.
you kind of find different routes, and there really
Yep.
are different routes
Oh,
of where
yeah.
like, oh, I'm in this company, which means I'm probably going to be here, here, and here now.
Yep.
And it's hard to cross over sometimes.
That's why it's better if you get the chance to train different
Absolutely,
places.
because then you get all those.
He
He does, and that's why it's one of the reasons why he's becoming successful.
Yeah.
which is
and he's
great.
got that European style too that not many people
Yes,
are doing. That helps
yes,
him
he
out a
does.
lot,
I think
too.
the
It's
net going.
different.
I really liked Channing Thomas as the bro professional.
Oh, that was really
I
good.
loved
little
it,
bit, yeah.
but he's the natural, and I
Yeah.
have no problem with it. He's
Right.
by God.
That bro
Yeah.
thing was
Oh,
with
dude,
his
it was so
little-
good.
With his little ready to play
Me and
pong,
him,
beer pong.
we used to talk about it all the time, like things you could do different, like just like have fun with the beer
Yeah.
pong stuff
Timmy
in the ring.
Thunder.
Timmy Thunder, yeah.
All right. A couple women.
Sure.
Isana, the suplex sweetheart.
Me and Liz have had so many heart-to-hearts. She's another one. Like, she's a very opinionated woman, and I
Right.
think that's actually why I appreciate and respect her for what she is, because we're similar in that way. We don't mind speaking our mind, even if it's
Right.
not going to be popular, realistically. And I actually said it earlier today, I can respect somebody who's straight to the point, and when you beat around the bush, it's like that respect's a whole different thing.
Right.
And she's one of those people who will kind of just tell you what's up. And
Oh, yeah.
and I want that in a friend or a
Right.
person that I'm even talking to.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
important. Yeah.
Okay. I hope I don't butcher your name. Nicole Matala.
Nicole Matala.
Nicole Matala.
Talk about the
Indian girl.
Oh, okay. I was like,
That's
I'm trying
right,
to.
though, right?
I think it might be. I don't know. I don't know how it's
right.
been. You might be right. You might be right. We've only had we've had interactions before, way more than we did now. I respect her grind a lot.
Yep.
She definitely goes out and does her thing. I've never really had a bad moment with her, so I don't know how to say it, but it's never really been anything personal. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So
no offense, but how about your ex-wife? Your
Corinne,
fourth ex-wife.
Corinne.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Corinne to death.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What's up with her bringing pies and cakes to the ring? Because I don't know. I really don't.
Well,
so I'm really looking.
well, she doesn't do it anymore.
Okay.
She's actually.
Why was she doing it?
So she was doing it. She was the golden girl, Corinne Mink. So she would, bring out the cheesecake. She's always, it was just one of those things. So she was big Golden Girls fan, she came out to thank you for being a friend, all that other stuff.
And I saw her at Caleb's company.
Yes.
That's the first time I saw her.
Yes, and she was,
She had a carrot cake, I think.
I love Corinne. We had so much fun, like I said, with this, especially the wedding stuff and
it
live.
like it
it was a blast, man. It was a blast. It's probably one of my best memories I've had with her. I mean, she's actually another thing. Her and Javi, her husband, one of the Team Españas.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually had me and Paul stay at their house for WrestleMania weekend 2 years ago. They invited us in. We stayed there for the weekend, so we didn't have to get a hotel because it was in Jersey area, and they're phenomenal people, man.
That is awesome.
Yeah, they're I love Corinne and I love Javi. I think they're awesome. And their cat Gordo, love Gordo.
Now, there's only a couple companies in New England right now that are doing things.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to bring up a promoter of one of them.
Sure.
I don't know if you've worked up there for him yet. Randy Carver Jr. Have you worked up at Limitless?
I haven't. Me and Randy have had some conversations about me going up earlier before quarantine. Again, stuff happening during quarantine that I think people just look a little negatively on me, which is fine. But I stand by my morals and what I feel. And I
love to see you work up there.
Yeah, me too. I think it'll happen in time. I don't think it's one of those things where it's like a never. You know what I mean? I'm way more worried right now about making sure that I, as a person, am better off than I as a wrestler.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And but I mean, not to say that I'm not going to put my 100% when I do it.
Of course.
But right now, that's not my concern. So when it does happen, I'll be ready and I'll be there to do it.
Nice. Like I said, I'd love to see you up there. I brought him up a little earlier. BRG.
I love
the
BRG.
Victorious Brett Ryan Gosling.
I love BRG. Even when he was doing the Todd Harris stuff, he's very talented.
Very talented.
Me and him always used to have a thing out back where it's like, he was one of those kids that we would just crap on each other.
Yeah.
But it was always, I feel like, it came from a place of love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like, because we were because he was the rich gimmick, I was the king gimmick. It was like, so it's still one and the same. It was one and the same. And that's kind of what obviously got us gravitated towards the tag team at XWA. But Brett is a legitimately good kid. I have
even
nothing
though he's
bad
a Canadians fan.
Well, that's the only thing that I would probably throw him through a window for.
That's about the only thing too. I'm not very happy about that.
But actually, that's some of the conversations we had too, where it's like I forget what it was. I think it was there was a game that happened one day where the Bruins beat the Canadians in an important game. It was an important game, and I was like, "Hey, Brett, how are those Canadians doing?" He's like, "At least I'm not a Bruin." I'm like, "Yeah, we're going back and forth with it."
And if you really went back and forth with them too, you really can't win because the Canadians won. They're like the Yankees.
Yeah, the Canadians.
You know what I mean? Like you can't.
I love the Bruins, but the Canadians just have that history.
Right, exactly. We may have been beating the crap out of the Canadians the past 15, maybe even 20 years.
But they got us every other one.
But the 20 years before, dude,
Yeah.
when I was growing up, it was not. You weren't even born, and the Canadians were kicking our butts.
Not pretty.
Not at all. Charlie Cashew.
Charlie Cashew.
Another young talented kid, man.
Charlie Cashew. We've wrestled a couple times. We did a thing at Paul's show. He did a Fight for Farber. It was a Dana Farber benefit. We had a show there, and it was super fun. It was part of a tournament.
Yeah.
He was part of, I think, my second match. After my first match, he just ran out, and I was like, well, second round time, and it was a super fun time.
Yep.
Him and I actually had issues probably about a year ago, which I have no problem making public.
Yeah.
It is what it is. There was a match where, truth be told, I walked out of one of the most it's a selfish thing in the world. And looking back, wish I could change it. Obviously can't. I can only help going forward. But
right.
I can only apologize so many times. But I am sorry to everyone in that match.
Right.
And but I like Cashew a lot. I've never had an issue with him, and obviously up until that point. And that was, a very interesting time in my life where I thought that I was just going to be right about everything. And that was my own stupidity playing its part. Yeah.
All right. How about his sometimes tag team partner, Ricky Archer? Oh, didn't they call him Doug something one time?
Doug Hole?
Doug Hole,
Doug
yeah,
Hole.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Doug Hole.
I really like that kid. He's he's really down to earth.
Kid throws an incredible drop kick.
Yes, he does.
He really
yes,
does.
he does. I've seen a few of them in my face, and he's really good at them.
Really good.
He's one of those kids. He's gonna, when he comes into his own fully, he's gonna be extremely
I think so.
Yeah, I think he's the one of the underrated guys in New England that I think when it finally comes to fruition for him, it's going to be insane for him. I really do.
So that's what it was. Doug Hole.
Doug Hole. Yeah. I forget what they call Cashew. Oh my God, it was Doug Hole and Archie.
Yeah, because that was wasn't that?
It was like
the AG show. I was there selling my merchandise that day.
Yeah.
So I can't
it was Doug Hole and
it
was like it was like an archaeologist thing, but it was something. Yeah.
Oh, they were really funny though. I'll tell you. All right. How about Sean Leader?
Sean Leader, one of the first people I met in wrestling. I love Leader. He's always been really kind to me.
Right.
I used to go karaoke with him, all that other stuff. And again, one of the first people I really met in wrestling.
Is he
really
good? He likes to do karaoke?
Oh, God, yeah, he loves it. We used to have a blast going out.
Nice, because I like to do karaoke.
Oh, I'm a big karaoke guy myself, so yeah.
It. Yep.
Love Leader.
Music guys, right? I mean, that's if you love music, you got to want to sing.
Absolutely. But I love Leader. That's just he's
going on soon. I had him scheduled.
Right.
His lovely girl got in an accident. She's doing better.
Yes.
He's going to come on in a couple months. Really looking forward to
He's a good dude. Good dude.
All right. So we got a little over a minute. AJP.
I think AJP could be one of the better workers in New England if he got out of his head sometimes, because I've seen him in his head, and if he stuck with it. But that kid has such a bright future in any case. I've seen the stuff he's done outside of wrestling.
Exactly.
And honestly, the he's just very smart.
He really is a smart kid.
He's gonna be fine no matter what he does.
Right.
He's one of those kind of people, which is great.
I told him here too when he was he's very talented.
He is.
And he's so young.
He's got so much life ahead of him, and but the world is he's good. Yeah.
All right, we got a little over 30 seconds.
Sure.
Want to plug your social media?
Sure. So right now it's kind of getting redone right now, but you can still, I believe, find me at God, man, just look up King Leon. You know what I mean? Just do that. Find me. You can even find me, Stephen Baker. I don't even care. At this point, we'll cut that line a little bit, but yeah, just say what's up. I don't mind. I'm always willing to have a talk.
Nice. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show, man.
I appreciate it.
We can do this again. We'll do it over the summer. Guys, that's it. Episode 203 finished. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.